Oops. Y'all not supposed to see all my laundry and stuff that I got to send down for my dry cleaning. What's going on, you guys? Been trying to, I don't know, Facebook has been tripping on the live tonight. So, I'm trying to do my, I know y'all are like not even usually here for Instagram. Okay, so I don't want to hide him. I want to add him. Hey, Watu, what's going on? The Global Griffin, y'all need to be in bed. Y'all East Coast people need to be in the bed. Well, how come? Okay, Lord have mercy. We're trying to do this. Let's see. Twan has sent you a request. Yes, go live with Twan. Now, Sorry, I'm trying to add my friend Twan in here. So normally we do this on Facebook Live, but Miss Facebook is giving me the blues tonight. Okay, so if I do that way, but can you hear me?
Hear
I can
me?
see you, and I can hear you.
I can hear you too. Okay.
Oh wait, no, you're upside down that way. Sorry. So I'm trying to put my phone back on here. Oh shoot.
Okay. So for those of you guys joining us now, this is we're gonna try YOLO with ToLo this week here.
Right, because normally we do this on Facebook every week, but Facebook, like I said, is just giving me the blues. And it's our whole topic tonight was, hey Mike, we're talking about
challenges.
Overcoming challenges.
Embracing your challenges.
Your challenges. And Miss Facebook was trying it tonight. So I was like, okay, so that's cool. But yeah, so life is all good and dandy and fab. That's just
Hey Denise,
wonderful.
We see you here.
Hey Denise, I see you there.
So yeah, we're trying to get on here live for episode 30, which is all about embracing your challenges. And Facebook kept freezing, and we had all sorts of issues. So we're gonna just try it here this week. Why not? Maybe next week we'll try it.
So yeah, so people that are tuning into my live, they're like, because I never go on live. It's so rarely live that I'm on live, but that's Twan.
Hey.
Y'all know me. But yeah, so we kind of we met, it's been like a year, has it been 2 years? I don't know, we met a while ago.
It's just been a year, but it seems like we've forever been friends, you know,
we've
when
been
that
connected,
happens.
Yeah. So a lot of people just don't know that, but we totally connected because, you know, you have to find your tribe, and you got to find those people that get that whole spiritual walk, especially in this world where everything is cray, and it seems to be more cray every day. So we started doing this every week, and I can't believe this is like the 30th episode, which would be on Facebook Live, but whatever. We're here on the IG tonight. Hey!
What's up? Hey, maybe this might be a better platform. We're totally open.
Yeah, right. So yeah, exactly. You know, the universe might be guiding us. So, but yeah, so embracing challenges. Because last week we talked about challenging yourself, and that's up on the Facebook Live, on the YOLO with ToLo page.
And it was so special because we were both in the same city in Chicago at the same time, so we did it side by side, which was super awesome.
Oh, yeah, so we're in different cities again. We're in different areas of the country. I can't tell you guys where I am tonight because, like I said, I'm surprising one of my friends tomorrow. Well, two of my friends tomorrow. They don't know that I'm coming to their thing. So I don't want them to.
It says Life of Lounge. Okay, Life of Lounge, and I like that.
Oh, that's my cousin, my little cousin. Yes, he actually lives out. He's out near you. Oh my God!
There's so many episodes, but it's okay. You know what? You can go to YOLO, YOLO with ToLo, mine and Lonnell's name combined, and you can watch the previous episodes. But this is episode 30, and every week we have different segments to kind of keep us moving. This week's segment 1 is Hot Topics.
The hot topic.
And race is always a hot topic. And what's going on with Megyn Kelly?
Oh, God, Lord Jesus, help us. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know. Megyn Kelly made a statement yesterday on a panel of all white folks. She was having a conversation saying that it was okay to dress in blackface. And you know, Black Twitter was not here for it at all. So they lit her up to shreds. And then today, the network announced that she was going to be on a hiatus. Her show was going to be on a hiatus, but they're saying that they're going to cancel it. But I'm hearing she's still going to get paid out her contract. And that's not the first time she said or done something dumb. I'm sure Tamron Hall is sitting back there somewhere sipping her tea like, girl, I told you, NBC. But anyway, I'm being shady. So, but I say all that to say, like, she apologized. Megyn came on. She came on and she apologized. But NBC, I guess, is still taking these actions. So, but is an apology really enough? When someone apologizes, especially if someone that has a very visible platform like that, is that no longer enough? And why not? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I don't want to get super political and talk about the president of the United States at the moment, but I feel like since he's gone off on a tirade and said many things that are just inappropriate, I feel like people are either brazen or feel like it's okay, and I think it's not okay. You have to be, the Four Agreements, one of my favorite books. There's one of the agreements is be impeccable with your word.
Impeccable with your word.
If you call, I'm sorry, but if you say something, you call me a name that is derogatory or whatever, discriminatory, then you can't take it back, And, again, just recently, was it in May? Just recently, Roseanne's show, remember, it relaunched on ABC to so much fanfare, so many viewers, and then she went off and said what she had to say about, Black people looking like monkeys and things like that, and just, Obama's former aide looking like a monkey or something like that. Anyway, I don't even want to.
And ABC came like,
chopping block
out of here, but no, yeah. So, but in this world, what was missing like the first time her show was around is that the whole digital component, the whole social media component, and unfortunately, there are just consequences. I believe in free speech, but I also believe there are consequences for what you say, myself included. I've said some things that I've had to pay for later. Doesn't mean that my heart necessarily is ill, but I'm just, maybe sometimes you just say something ignorant because you're going for the punchline or the laugh. But personally, I think apologies have become trite. I really do.
Agree.
Because it's like, okay, you're going to say or do something that's just all out, and you figure, okay, well, I can just apologize and then everything will be okay. And that's just not the way, I'm sick of, because you don't necessarily mean an apology. It's a behavior or something you will do to save your job or to save face.
It's like you have to, yes.
Yeah, but it's not, if it's not coming from your heart, I don't, keep it, because you said what you meant to say.
Yeah.
But,
you can't unsay something is my point. So be impeccable to begin with, and you can't undo something. If you murder somebody, you can't bring them back to life,
Right.
And I just feel like it's such a cop-out sometimes when they're just like, oh, I really didn't mean that. No, you just said it, though.
Right. You just said it, right. So where did that come from?
Yeah, and sometimes, even more ignorant. I remember having a former boss who told my Black producer, because when I was a TV reporter at one of the stations, he said, I don't know why the N-word's so bad. That's what she said, this white lady. She said to my Black producer. That's
a whole other.
Okay, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah,
but
because they used to say that on television. Like I watch reruns of the Jeffersons and stuff, and it was very much part of the dialect. You hear that's a whole. Yeah, that's a whole other.
I love the Jeffersons. Anyway,
that's a whole other.
Yeah, it's just in life, I really believe though that when you say whatever it is you say, that depending on the intent, it's just going to come back and bite you. Karma.
It's going to come back and bite you.
Yeah. So you just have to be mindful of what you say and the vitriol or the beauty you put out there in the world.
And sometimes it might put you in the hump, but then how do you dump it?
Exactly.
We have another segment. How about that?
One day we're going to have really nice graphics.
No, don't change it. I love that you keep those. That's just mine would be all wrinkled and messed up. Right. It's just crazy.
Dump the Hump is all about just us getting through those challenges and piggybacking off of this conversation and what we had talked about embracing your challenges. So many times in life, I feel like so many of us, when we're going through grief or loss of anything like a job, a partner, your loved one, whatever it is, so many of us push it away, including myself. I'm guilty of it many times over. And instead of embracing the challenges, and a lot of our previous episodes, we've talked a lot about how challenges, we both believe, are here to teach us something. And if you don't learn, it's going to come back in different ways, shapes, and forms, right? So here's a whole another kind of way to think about it, that what if challenges were really your friend? What if that pain was really here to push you into action? And I really believe that that is the case of, back in the day, Buddha realized, that no matter how rich or how famous or how beautiful or whatever, we all age, we all get sick, we all have accidents, we all suffer of some sort. But I believe that these challenges are here to really spark some sort of action. So you just have to pay attention to it. So really the bigger question this week is, what was a seminal moment in your life when you were going through one of the biggest challenges that you felt like you could not bounce back from. When did you embrace it and learn from it, and what was that?
First of all, I got enough friends, so challenges, you could teach me, give me the lesson, and move on. I don't need those kind of
Same
friends.
here. I don't need no more new friends. Don't need that.
Actually, it's something I'm going through right now, and it's not actually my particular issue, but I'm sort of mediating it. I have two good friends who are a couple who have broken up, or they're going through a breakup, and we've always had this very dynamic, and and they both, like, we've always had these wonderful conversations. So I'm talking to him, I'm talking to her, and it's like, and they, both of them are being confident, expressing trusting my confidence, I should say. And I told I've made it very clear, I'm not gonna, whatever you say to me is gonna still be in confidence, but you all still need to sit down and work this out. But it goes back to that whole thing. How do I know that that I'm pushing myself enough to be in this trustworthy position without picking sides? How do they know that they are pushing themselves enough to actually save this? Because right now there's a lot of raw emotion. So I don't see that. I don't see that necessarily you're getting to the root of the spiritual cause of why you've drawn one another into your lives. So with that, it is a challenge, and I've embraced it. I've embraced my role in it. But it's interesting to see how they are not necessarily. I don't know if they're necessarily embracing one another, because, like I said, there's a lot of raw emotion right at this particular juncture. But I'm hoping that they can get to just a place of just thorough communication of whatever they decide, or whether they decide to stay together and try to make it work, or go their separate ways. But it's a lot of drama.
Yeah.
So that's not really the answer, but that's that's just different. But but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to reflect on that question for myself, and I think that one of the biggest biggest challenges that I faced was after my first job out of college. I was a TV reporter for an ABC station in Wisconsin, and a year into it, my dad was diagnosed with stomach cancer. Went home, took care of him 6 months, then he passed away, then my aunt passed away, then my two grandmothers passed away. And I remember just thinking, like, I was really mad at God, and I was like, if there is a God, why would you let this happen? And then I went into the victim mode for a minute, and then all of a sudden I got present, and I prayed on it. It might sound contradictory, but I was just like, God, like, why is this happening? And I didn't understand it at the time, but I feel like this is what I learned from it, that experiencing the deaths has really made me live life more to the fullest. And I always thought I'm going to go to a small TV market, medium-sized city or market, then a large market, and then maybe to the network. And I made it all the way to market number 5, San Francisco. And then one of the networks called me to interview, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. So what that taught me is to really listen to that thing that really excites me inside my heart. Life is so short. So no matter what challenge you're going through, life is a boop, and then you're done. Yeah. Right. You're blessed enough to live 80, 90 years, like what's human lifetime now. It's really short. Think about it. Like, you're 50, I'm 40. If that's, like, how are we going to live the rest of our lives? And really
fully. Every day fully,
right? And so I realized from that wow, all the experiences we go through, the challenges are and experiences are really like little dots you scatter behind you. And you're like, what? Why is this? Why did these people die? Why did I break up with that person? What? Why did I lose this job? And then you look back, and once you learn from it, there you can connect the dots. And that's what's really cool, right? And then you realize that life is like this, jagged. It's never a straight line.
No.
Right?
And for me, I know when I've pushed myself enough, or when I've challenged myself enough, when I have either reached the point where I've manifested whatever it is I'm trying to, whatever my goal is, or that I've reached a state where, like, my spiritual equilibrium is just off, and I'm moving from a place of ego because I'm trying to force it, as opposed to, like, well, maybe this is not necessarily right, but he's so fine, but that's the one. But he's crazy. Well, the universe is trying to tell you crazy.
Especially if
So
it's about love.
yeah, exactly. Especially about love. It's
And
just it's
especially if they find.
right. It's like nuts. So, but you have to really be honest, and if you get still and really listen spiritually, you know, your instinct always guides you. But yeah, I feel that's how I know for me. Either it's manifest or I've reached that spiritual where my spiritual equilibrium is off, and I know that I'm fighting. So
Oh, that's really good. And again, I think to find that when you're in, this is the work that we're doing, right? Is for you to realize that whatever challenge you are going through, you're going through it to learn something, to
right,
learn something. And I really hate it when people say, I don't y'all hate it when people are like, everything happens for a reason. You don't want to hear you don't want to hear
right,
that when somebody dies, when you lose your job, you got to feed your kids, when you get an illness. But what I really believe is that it's not about, to me, on Instagram and Facebook, you see people like with fake lives or like with, who they think they are and whatnot. But really, that isn't success to me. I really don't think, how much money you make is really an indication of success. I don't think big titles are. I really think it's how do you work through your challenges? How do
right.
you work through those challenges? And how do you then pass that along to other people? And I remember once I was going through this devastating heartbreak of a breakup, and one of my spiritual friends told me that she said, Twan, you're going through this because you're going to walk through the fog step by step every day, and I promise you'll feel the light, you'll feel the sun, you'll feel the warmth, you'll feel the joy again. But you're going through this so that you can evolve as a human being and your spirit to evolve, and for you to oh my God, I just got the chills. For you to, you know, help other people with it. And here we are talking on this platform, and I've just realized that I've helped a lot of friends through breakups and those challenges. But how do you empathize or have compassion for someone if you're not going through it? So I know you guys, at home may have questions. Please, just ping us here, and we'll be happy to answer it if we can here. But let's move on to segment 3.
Segment 3, Talk with
Talk
ToLo, where
with
we
ToLo.
just take viewer questions from our Facebook page, obviously. But yeah, what's the question tonight? What do we have tonight?
The big question is from Koshi in San Francisco, and she asks, how do you stay centered? How do you stay centered and kind when you feel so full of setbacks and challenges? Ooh, that's good.
That's good. Because yeah, there are times when you just may
Always
want to
times.
drop kick somebody in the throat. I mean, there are times, when you just, I don't want to play nice, because, I don't feel, that whole when they go low, we go high. Now, sometimes you're not in that space emotionally. That's
No.
just real talk, real
Yeah.
talk. Unfortunately, reacting to those kind of emotions is what has fostered the climate that we live in today. And we see
Yes.
how that's working out for us.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I really think you can, you have to, you just have to take that breath and detach from your emotion and respond from your spirit.
Ooh.
And that's not always easy, especially in the
How do you
moment.
do that? I'm
Yeah.
sure people watching like, how? That
The
sounds
first
so
thing you do
evolved.
is the first thing you do is give yourself, if you need, 30 seconds before you respond to something. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Just breathe. Because
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good
when
place to start.
somebody says something, it's just like, you mother, and it's like, no, just count to 30. Now, if I still, for me, and like, okay, at 30 seconds, I'm trying, right? And I still feel like, you mother, then it's like, okay, I need 30 more seconds. I can say, ooh, ooh, ooh. I try to talk myself down off the ledge. It's like, how can I respond? Like you do, how can you send this person love? How can you see them in their light? And sometimes it's a struggle. It is a struggle. But for me, that initial timeout. Don't respond right away. Don't respond right away. And am I responding to actually send you some light and love, or am I responding to just shade you because you just shaded me? I don't necessarily want
Which
to
we want to
reciprocate
do,
that
right?
energy.
Our ego
Right?
wants to
Yeah.
do that.
Oh, I definitely want to do that. Cut them down. But
I
it's like,
think the first thing, one of the biggest life lessons I've learned is that it's really not what happens, because, everybody has challenges. Everybody gets sick, breaks up. Hopefully you break up, because that means you love someone, or you lose a job, or, get ill or whatever. It all happens to all of us. Like, we are special people, but you ain't that special. Like, we all
right.
go through this, right, as human beings. And I think that part of it is also a gift and that shifts us
Right.
when we learn from it, right? So I think that really the one thing we all can do, one thing I learned is once I start feeling that, like somebody cut you off, or like you go through some heartache, or you hear that a friend just died, like the best thing that I think you could do, because your body is reacting and your ego is reacting and all these things are going on a physical, mental, spiritual level, is to just, like you said, just once you feel that blood boiling, just
You got to detach from it. You got to detach from it. I love this question from Life of Lounge. Hey, Hassan, let's see here. So do you think what is that, detaching, is
do you
that what
think
that says?
detaching from them,
From negative people
is the answer?
is the answer.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's part of the answer. Absolutely.
don't meet
Listen,
crazy with crazy.
don't
That's
meet
what
crazy
I
with
learned.
crazy, or when you see crazy coming across the street, you don't
Run across the street.
Run.
Yeah.
Because listen, if you allow people that space, the negative people that space, you're not going to change their negativity. If you want to change, because trust me, people are not going to listen to what you say; they're going to watch what you do. So if you go about living your life and you're doing things that are positive and you're paying them like no mind, then they'll eventually either change or they'll leave you alone. And you don't need to. Yeah, you can't associate. You can't fix negative people. That's something they have to want to do themselves. So
So Life of
you
Lounging says
yeah.
some folks don't want to change, and I feel they seem to stay negative. You know what though? One thing I've learned, is, don't, just because you've been through it and you learn the lesson, you can't expect that they're there with you,
Right.
or
They
if
have to
they're
go
not
through
ready
their
to
process.
accept it. Yeah, it's a process, and you know what? I've actually done this, and I'm not saying that I'm a saint, because sometimes I do want to throw my Coke at them or throw my whatever water bottle at them. But I really do. I'm like, try to send love and try to send love. And I'm like, you know what? I just think that I don't know what happened to that person. Something happened to them that made them react like that. So instead, you got to send them love. For example, one time I was driving and it was uncontrolled intersection. I pulled up first. It was my turn to go. And clearly this very, very mad, red-faced, overweight woman was like, middle finger everywhere, right? And I was like, go. And I was like, I'm sending you love, go, go. And she still was sticking her middle finger out at me, right? And driving as though it was my fault. And I was just like, I don't know what happened to her that day, and I don't know why she doesn't have that much love. But you know what? I'm going to send it to you. I hope that you go on your merry little way. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Chase her down? She can pull out a gun at me.
And meet that negativity with more negativity. No.
Don't
you
be
don't
crazy
need to do that.
with crazy.
And if people choose, Hassan, if people choose to be negative, let them choose to be negative. That doesn't mean you have to choose to be negative or to stay in that space. Bounce. You got to cleanse your life of that, all that kind, because that crap will tear you down.
Exactly. So when you have those setbacks and challenges, there's different ways we all stay centered. I mean, I think the first step is taking that deep breath. I love to talk it out and talk to people, especially I'm the kind of person that if I feel like, oh my God, I made somebody feel bad and that makes me feel bad and I care about that person, then I will ask you, like Lonnell, who's my, somebody that's level-headed spiritual brother, somebody that holds me accountable. I'll ask you, I'm like, am I janky or are they janky, right? And that's one of the ways is for me to talk it out. Some people journal, go on a walk. I know somebody that likes to go on long walks when things happen and likes to process it. I'm not that person. I'm kind of more like, right. And then I'm like, once I feel that, I'm like, now I learn to take a deep breath. So it's, it really depends on who you are. But if you are already mindful and asking that question, Koshi, that is awesome because you are a step ahead of the game. Anyway, in terms of our fourth segment, digital detox, every week we end on this note because we've been here.
Yeah, this is my favorite segment.
No.
Lies. Yeah, right.
So this week's digital detox is so interesting because I've seen businesses started doing this. There's a hotel in Chicago that they give you some sort of perk for not being on your phone in the lobby. And
that's kind of cool.
I saw this interesting article on the San Francisco Chronicle, sfgate.com. There's this tea shop called Samovar. I actually really like them. They're really good. But there's this tea shop that has a very loaded item on the artisan menu. It's a mindfulness tea, and essentially, it comes with these set of instructions that a patron is to take 60 minutes to enjoy the tea. 60 minutes without your phone.
Without my phone. I was going to say, I can enjoy tea, but no.
Especially if you're by yourself. Well, I don't know. We've gotten way too attached to our phones. I know I'm addicted. Trying to be better at it. So 60 minutes to enjoy your tea, a period in which you must detach from all technology. Phones are to be turned off and put in your bag, and no talking to anybody but your server is what it says here.
Wow.
If you make it through that hour, the tea is free.
Right. That's pretty cool, actually. Because listen, if you can, you were doing that before you had these devices. You were trying to find ways to detach and to find your meditation or your practice. So it can be done. We were doing it long before technology came along and changed our lives. But I don't know, that would take me, I might have a few visits. I see myself paying for a lot of tea in that particular establishment. Maybe one day I can get to the hour where 30 minutes I think I could do. I don't know about the hour. I'd have to.
60 minutes is a lot.
It's a lot when you.
But I think it's a good challenge, you know. I'm now thinking maybe next time when you and I get together, maybe when we're in LA together at some point, maybe you and I can be challenged not to check the phone for 60 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Denise says both y'all gonna end up paying for tea.
Right, I'm gonna try. I'll try. Yeah, but I think I'll be paying for a lot.
But I just think that's super interesting that businesses are starting to kind of have these challenges of digitally detoxing. And I also think that, a lot of the, tech companies and even, the new iOS, we talked about this in the past too, the iOS has something to monitor how long you've been on your apps and what you've been doing on your phone. Right. Instagram released their thing to some tools to kind of get you to digitally detox. So I think that just awareness is a big thing. And, I hate to talk about, talk diets with anything, with food or anything. It's more of a lifestyle because when
lifestyle change.
Yeah. Diet. I mean, like nobody stays on no kind of diet, So,
no.
So do one of you have a physical phone book that you keep your friends' numbers in?
Yeah, but it's probably dated from the 80s. Yeah, I don't still. I don't.
A Rolodex? Do y'all know what a Rolodex is? I don't know.
Do you know what a Rolodex is? I do not.
This is a question I have for you guys. How many of you guys remember the phone numbers of at least 3 friends? I don't know. I know.
Well.
I know 2.
Yeah, well, probably family members that have had the numbers since I was a kid.
Anyway, we need to get off this.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
I don't know. I just think being aware is good, and I at dinner when I'm at home eating dinner with family, turn the phone down or face down, or I just put it away. Like I put it in the other room. That's very helpful. And after I watched last week, we talked about Lisa Ling's technology addiction episode of her show This Is Life on CNN. Yeah. I have said, I made myself for a while now. I only allow myself to check my social media morning, afternoon, at night, and a lot briefer than it used to be. So it's just baby steps, right? But
baby steps. I've made some improvements, but baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. And thank you for joining us this week on Embracing the Challenges. And it's interesting because this brought us, we were having challenges on Facebook getting on because there was issues with audio and that platform. And so we came on here and we just found some new people. So if you like what you see, you can see the rest of our 29 episodes, including this episode 30. I can't believe it's been 30. On YOLOwithtolo.com, because you only live life once and you need people to hold each other accountable. So thanks for joining. If you like, share, join us on Facebook, and we'll see y'all next week.
Sounds good.
All right.
Hopefully on Facebook Live, but we'll see. We might be back here. Who knows?
We'll let you guys know. Join us.
I gotta use the restroom. I've been drinking too much tea. I love y'all.
Love you guys. Love you, dude. Bye.